Hey there! Welcome to another episode of Galaxy Gardens. My name is Chrissy, and today we need to rack our berry wine. What this means is we're taking it out of its first initial fermentation stage where all of the actual berry pulp is still in it, and we're going to separate our accumulating wine from that and put it in a new container with no berry pulp in it. Very exciting. So I got some coffee to do this. It's snowy today. I thought we could go give the chickens a treat to start off, but we're also gonna test the gravity. I think that's the right term. I'll ask Greg. We're also gonna test it to see like what alcohol level we're at right now compared to when we started this process 2 weeks ago. I wanted to check in about this after a week because I genuinely thought you could change it into a new container after a week, but after Greg was taking a look at it, he thought it would be best if we did it for 2 weeks. And I agree with him because the fermentation really kept going and it only started slowing down by the time we got to this weekend. So now 2 weeks later, we're gonna switch it over. This is gonna be a shorter video. And then honestly, at this point, I would probably drink it. I don't care what the alcohol level is, but once it's in our next container, we'll probably leave it for a month. So let's go get the chickens some snacks and then move everything over. I have some frozen greens here. I forgot to make cabbage, so we're gonna defrost this, bring it out to the chickens because it's snowing today. We've been getting some snow today. It looks like we got a little bit of a break, but it's cooling down, and gotta go knock some snow off the run. But I think the chickens will enjoy this treat. So we got radish greens, some boiled eggs and shells, garlic, oregano, and red pepper flakes. All right, ladies. Here you go. We have everything here that we need. So this is full sanitizer after it's been washed. A spoon sterilizing right now. We have this, and we have our initial fermenting bottle. It looks good. And it's kind of hard to tell, but it's actually cleared up quite a bit. So what I'm gonna do is dump out the sanitizer. I have a siphon sanitizing right now, and then we're gonna move it over. Before we get too far with anything, I want to see what kind of alcohol level we're at. See this? Don't fear the suds. All right. So we're gonna take this, if you remember this from when we were making maple syrup last year. We're gonna look into the light. All right. Hey, Greg. So this says 1.025.
Can I see it? What's the bricks?
7. Just under 7.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Because I need to know.
I'm back. I'm having Greg figure out what percentage we're at right now. If you watched our previous video, which I hope you did if you're here now, last week we used a hydrometer, and we actually can't use it again because I don't want to take any of this out, put it in a glass, and then put it back. So went and found our refractometer to do this. So we'll have a number in just a second. Okay, so according to Greg, we are currently at 11.7% alcohol, which I feel like is pretty high, and that's pretty exciting. I did sneak a sip of it from the spoon I used to put on the refractometer. It tastes pretty good. So let me get this set up and we'll rack it over to the new jar. Let me go dump this out. If you've never done any kind of home brewing, or I guess wine making, I don't know if that counts, you don't need to wash out your sanitizer. This is not an ad. This is what we used. You don't need to wash it out. Okay. Here's our siphon. My hands are clean and sanitized as well. And this in here, this in here. There we go. I'm gonna watch this and make sure we don't get any of that gunk from the bottom. It slows down. We're just gonna get that suction going. And from this angle, which you can't see, I can pretty much see straight through it to the other side. So this is going pretty good. You can see that filling up. I can still see this fermenting too. Bubbling as we take it out. That's all right.
Oh, that's probably about as good as we can get without getting it dirty.
Can you hold this? Just want to get a cup. We got close to the bottom, so we actually put it up on our pitcher. We filled up about half a gallon here, and there's a little bit left in the tube. There's some sediment in it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it in there. Unfortunately, although there is some more wine in there, it's not worth it. But we got a little bit to try. At this point, it's more like hooch. But yeah, about half a gallon's worth, which is pretty good considering we used maybe half a gallon, 3/4 gallon worth of berries. So that's not too bad. It still has a really good berry scent to it. And it kind of has like a berry-ish red wine flavor, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm gonna give the rest of this to Greg. So Greg said we can put a regular lid on it. We don't need to put the airlock over there back on because the ferment's pretty much done, and we removed the stuff that's fermenting. We're still gonna age this though. We'll see how long we can go without getting into it. So you could probably just put it in bottles at this point. It does have 11.7% alcohol, but if you age it for a little bit longer, the flavors will develop more. And I want to see how that goes. I think we'll be making more of this because it came out really good and we have just as many berries left over in the freezer. And I think this is a fun way to use it up. And of course, if you're someone who doesn't consume alcohol, you can just make berry juice. Thanks for joining me today while we racked our berry wine. Honestly, I probably could have filtered it out and had like a cup to drink today, but that's fine. The half gallon we made is probably equivalent to what you get in like a bottle of wine. We're definitely gonna do this again. I did not know it was that easy. We've avoided winemaking for years because we thought it was super complicated. Turns out making wine with grapes is where it's complicated. Just make country wine, that's fine. Greg's feeling a little under the weather today, so that's why he did not make an appearance. However, we have other stuff coming up in the future, If you want to know any kind of like new stuff that's going on, I'm going to put a link in the description. We actually have kind of like a placeholder website right now while I work on making like a full website. We're going to have blog posts, stuff for like consultation services. That's going to be really fun. I just need to sit down and actually do it. I'm tired. It's January. It's been dark and cold and either snowing and raining. Yeah. And it was 51 degrees on Friday, Fahrenheit for our Celsius folks. And now it's in the 30s and snowing today. So I'm tired. It's hard keeping up with it. We have about another month before we do our seed starting. I've actually been trying to start seeds a little bit later because with our current setup, they thrive and they grow really fast. So we'll start peppers probably towards the end of February and get our tomatoes and stuff going probably towards the end of March. I know, so weird. We got some new stuff, which I'll share as we get a little bit closer. I need the seeds to come in the mail first. But it's pretty exciting. We've been, because it warmed up over the weekend, I've left a bunch of carrots in the ground that I completely forgot I was growing, and found a couple good sized ones in there. So we'll have a carrot harvest in the spring, which will be nice. But I hope as all of you are getting through the winter, you're getting through in one piece and we're gearing up and getting ready for our growing season. If you haven't ordered your seeds yet, go order them now. I know all the seed catalogs have been going out because I've gotten a bunch. So order your seeds. If you're ordering spuds, go order those so they come in when it's appropriate for your region. And we're going to get it done this year. I'll see you next time, but I hope you stay well.